Welcome to some junk journal snacks. As you can see, I will be working in Honey's beautiful journal today. If this is the first time you're seeing this series and this journal, you can find a video of a flip through of when I received this beauty linked in the description box below. And the reason I wanted to work in Honey's journal today is because I want to find a way to incorporate this tag that I made in Sonja's, aka Elise Klatschmoen on Instagram, her 7 rustic challenge. Now, if you have not seen this tag before and don't know what I'm talking about, please check that video in the description box as well, where I explain how this came about and all about the challenge, and you can obviously still join as well. And I highly encourage you to check out all the amazing Instagram posts and YouTube videos. So I'm blown away by how many creators have already joined in this fun challenge from Sonja. So if you go on Instagram and check the hashtag rustic7challenge, you will see all the posts that are already there. So go check those out. And also on YouTube, there are quite a few videos there already. Just type in that same hashtag rustic7challenge and it will take you to all the fun videos of creators that have participated in Sonja's challenge. So as I mentioned, this was my outcome, and on the back here I had put a pocket with a photo of the items that I had in the bag, and I have my notes on it here. So I need to figure out a way to add this to a page where I can still access the back side, because I certainly don't want to glue this on. And since this is such a dimensional and quite substantial tag, I wanted to incorporate it in this journal rather than the crazy gator mouth journal from Nadia, which I love to bits, but it just is not going to work for this. I have taken a look at a few pages where this might fit, and I wanted to show you how different this tag will look on different backgrounds, and it's just always totally amazing to me what a difference that makes. So this is the first option. You see it's a beautifully coffee dyed vintage German book page. And if I add this here, I think it brings out the gold and the light colors very well, and the contrast to the black is super strong. So I love how kind of goldeny this whole page looks. So that would be the first option. So here we have a brown background. So you see how it looks totally different here. Here I think the contrast is not as strong, and it doesn't really make the gold come out as much. The black contrast is still there, so I do also kind of like this option. And the third one is here on this gray page. This kind of seemed unlikely at first, but actually I like this one best because it really makes the gold stand out. The black stands out. I love how the black is picked up from over here as well, although here I think it's actually dark brown, but I love the pops of the dark here on both spreads. So I think this is the one I will go with. And this is not a super sturdy page. It has become a little more sturdy because I've added things to the background here on this page. So that has definitely helped a lot, because this is just packaging paper and it's not very thick. And as you can see here, it's already tearing. So I need to be careful how to attach this. So my thoughts were that I could add a brad up here so that way I could still flip it around. But of course, the issue is that if I just do that, as soon as I turn the page, the tag will move to the spine and just kind of not be in a good place right here. So I thought what I could do is make like a kind of a tuck spot, a very small one here, where I could tuck this corner in so that that would be stabilized. So I like that we have a background here. So when I flip this over, I do see this. This is something that Honey made and I love it. But of course, these sides here are still quite plain. And as I said, I wanted to stabilize this here a little bit. So by coincidence, I have the same packaging paper that Honey has. So this is exactly the same color. So I thought, what if I stencil on this and then glue those onto these two sides? Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same, but at least it would kind of maybe give this a similar feeling. I also don't have this stencil that Honey has, but I do have this one, which is the Tim Holtz stencil. The number is THS032. Love this one. It's not long enough, so I would have to do 2 after each other, which is fine. And I want to try to get maybe a similar color to what Honey has used here, which seems to be acrylic paint. So let's see if I can mix something similar with my acrylic paints. This is a warm gray. Let's start off with that. It has almost dried out completely. What a shame. See, I don't use mine enough. I don't think I'll ever be able to close this again because there's so much paint in this that it won't screw on anymore. The struggles of an artist. Okay, so even though this is a warm gray, this one is still warmer. So maybe if I add some of this raw umber. Let's add some more. Okay, what do we think? It's not bad, maybe a little bit too dark. Let's try adding some buff titanium. Yeah, I think that will do it. On the camera, it looks a lot more cold actually than this one, but in real life, this one looks quite close. I'm kind of unsure whether to do this with this flat brush or with my spatula, because I think it's thick enough to go through with a spatula. No, I'm gonna use my brush. The good thing is I have plenty of packaging paper, so even if this doesn't work out, I can always do it again. Now, you don't want too much on your brush, I know that. Okay, let's just go for it. Yep, this seems to be working well. I think that was a good choice. Perfect. Okay, let's try to continue. Did he make that so that it could be continued? He did not. That's a bummer. You would think that it was made like a never-ending pattern, but no. Timmy, why? Okay, I'm gonna do the best I can to line this up. Okay, maybe I did him wrong, because actually you can't really tell where one starts and one ends. Okay, Timmy, I take it back, it's fine. So this is absolutely stunning. And since I have so much paint left over, I'm definitely going to continue doing this on some more packaging paper to have that ready for some more collaging. So I managed to get all of this out of that paint. How cool. I have a lot now to work with. And I always say this kind of paper makes me a lot more happy than any kind of designer paper. And I also added some to some cardstock, so that looks so cool. And now I can see this is so much darker than this. Why did I not see that? I don't know, but actually I like it. I like the contrast. Yeah, I think it looks really nice next to each other. So I'm going to tear this into strips. 2 strips to be exact. Oh my gosh, I did a horrible job lining these up. No! Yeah, that's the problem with packaging paper. It's not the most sturdy. It's okay. When we glue it, it will be okay. It will have to be okay. Because I'm not going to use the other ones. I'm hoarding those now. Well, I can always use one of the other ones and use this one for collaging. But actually, I don't, yeah, you won't really see it. Come on, it's a junk journal. It's supposed to look all raggedy. At least mine are. I I like that look. So let's just trim that to the right size. Working very precisely here. Okay, that's one side. And that's the other side. So seeing this like this kind of makes me think these are too dark and too dominant. They're kind of taken away from the tag. So I'm not happy with that. See, if we take them off, then the tag is really the center of attention. But these are just so plain. I wonder if I would add a very thin coat of gesso on this, whether we would still have a nice design, but it wouldn't compete with the tag. Why don't I give that a try? This is the thinnest gesso I have. This one is from Action. But if it's too thick, I can always go over it with a baby wipe to make it even thinner. But I think this is okay. Wow, that still looks pretty cool. So here's the comparison. Here's the gesso one, here's the other one. And I think for this page, it needs to be this one, and I'm quite happy with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love this, but just not in combination with the tag. So I'll add gesso to this one as well. So then I'm just going to glue these on the sides, tear and all. Can really see the difference. Look how warm this looks now compared to this. That's amazing. I don't know why I'm thinking about this now, but I received a comment from a viewer, this is already a few weeks ago, saying that she would love to hear me talking more about Austria because she'd like to learn more about Austria, but I don't know what to tell you. So if you have specific questions about Austria or life in Austria or anything like that, please ask me in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer that in an upcoming Junk Journal Snacks video. So I'm going to put the brad through here, and in order to stabilize this even more, I think I'm going to add a piece of cardstock here using my circle punch, and then put the brad through that so that there's no way that this can tear. So what I want to do is I'm going to use a plain piece of cardstock, and on top I'm going to add this packaging paper in this crinkly way that I added it here. And I can use this piece then both for the punch circle and also for my corner tuck spot. First, I'm going to spritz my paper with water so that it wrinkles really nicely. I'm going to crumple it up gently because this one, of course, will tear very easily. I'm going to add some tacky glue here. And then I'm going to add this while it's wet, and I'm going to make some beautiful texture by just squishing it. Then I want to make sure it's stuck down everywhere, no air holes, and then I will dry that. Okay, so now I have this. I have really nice texture. So I want to punch out a circle, trying to get some nice texture on the circle. Okay, so I have this now. So for my corner tuck spot, I really just want it to be small. So if we have this here, yeah, because the wing is also in the way, so I really need this to be just a small triangle. Just to hold it like that, and it should be easy to tuck in as well, right? I want the tag to look like it was made for this page, which means that I need to have some elements on this page that are also on this tag to make it seem like they were always meant to go together. And the easiest way to do that, of course, now is to add the same elements on these that I already have on the tag, which is the crackling stamp and the gold paint. So I'll do the crackling stamp first. So I'm going to add my favorite crackling stamp. This is from Crafty Individuals. The number is CI 116. I will link it in the description box below for you. This is what it looks like. It's a cling stamp, but when you buy it, you don't get this gray foam. You would need to buy that separately, but the shop has that. So you will have to construct this yourself if you buy this. Okay. Then I'm also going to go around both with my walnut stain. And finally, I'm going to add my Inca Gold. This is from the company Viva. It's a fast drying metal gloss paint. I will link these below from Amazon Germany, which is where I found these. Actually, no, that's not true. I got these locally, but Amazon Germany has it. I don't think Amazon US has it. You're welcome to check. I'm going to lightly go over this, but as I mentioned while I was doing the tag, at least I think I mentioned it, you can also do this with gold and acrylic paint, with watercolor paint, or with gilding wax. So you don't need this fast drying one, but it's great for when you're doing videos and you need to cut down on the drying time. So now I'm going to take this and glue this onto my page. Right there. Then I'm going to punch a hole through it. Thankfully, that's going to be fine for the page on the back side. I did consider that when I chose this page. So I'm making a hole in the middle. And then I want to add that brad. I wish I had the number 7 because the challenge is called Rustic 7 Challenge. I only have the 5, which is okay because I have 50 here. So that kind of goes together, I'm going to say. And we'll just put that through like that. Now, obviously, I could cover this up here, but actually it does not bother me. And if you're curious about this page, this was a 5 items challenge with Peggy from the paper Bumblebee. And I will link this video for you as well, just in case you're curious. So we have this here. Should I add some gold paint to that 5? I could, yeah. And I can still flip it around easily, so that's awesome. And now I just need to glue down this piece so that we can just tuck that in there. I should have probably made some flaps, and I was actually thinking of doing that. And then at the heat of the moment of making a video, I forgot. So I just want the very tip to go in. I should probably clamp this down. Okay, let's add some paint to the 5. Some gold paint. I don't know how well this is gonna stick actually. Okay, it has a gold shimmer. That's kind of cool. You cannot see what I'm talking about, right? There. So it has a nice gold shimmer. Okay, so it's a few minutes later and this is stuck down well. So now I can easily take this out, turn it around and put it back in place so that it doesn't move when I flip the page. I'm a genius. I hope you enjoyed our little junk journal adventure. Go play in your journal. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.